So Matter is a microplastic technology company. So we focus on the capture, the harvesting and the recycling of microplastic. We've been around since about 2018 and currently we're about 15 people at the minute. The circular economy really was the foundation of the company. When I founded the business, I founded it on cradle to cradle principles. It's something I'm really passionate about. It's in my eyes the foundation of what is the modern circular economy now. Matter as a business is I always see it as the hard line between the biological cycle and the technical cycle, stopping the leaching of material coming from what we make, leaching into the environment, and then trying to do something with it. So it's redirecting it back into use, but also adding value from what we currently see as waste. I think our journey into the circular economy, I suppose it's been part of our inception. So it's always been part of the goal of what we achieve. I think there's a lot of theory with circular economy and there's not a lot of action. And one of the real key parts of us and our business was about coming away from theoretical models and turning that into reality. So the great thing about being a startup is you get to break things all the time. And I think that our journey into circular economy has been really focused on how do we deliver things that are actually going to have real impact in the world. So it's been a core part of our mission from the very beginning. We've had so many challenges as a company. I think any small business has had a number of challenges over the last couple of years. But I think, funding is always a challenge when you first start, and we've managed to raise millions of pounds into the company. We've had some technical challenges about what we're doing, and I've got an amazing engineering team that have delivered some incredible stuff. Currently we're going through all the painter supply chain, and building a supply chain in current environments pretty difficult. And also trying to do that ethically is really challenging. But we're making great headway, and it's really good to see how the markets are changing and becoming more aware of the things that we're asking for, which are the key criteria about when we make hardware products, how do they work. I think as a business we've been really lucky with some of the key successes we've had, and we've managed to build some amazing partnerships. We're a very small team, and we have global aspirations for making change and impact. We realised really early on that the best way to do that was to work with big partners. So one of the things for us is that we capture microplastics from washing machines, and from 2025 it will be they're banning the sale of washing machines without microplastic filters in France. We've been involved in working with people like Beko and Miele and some big manufacturers. But now we're on the legislation side. I've been working with the UK government to ensure that our laws match that are in Europe. So we're working on the forefront of what happens in Westminster, and how we develop legislation which matches the scale of the problem. So as a company, circular economy is such a foundational principle of us that we always see it as a value add. By adopting circular economy principles, you're generating value from waste. We've found some really amazing things. So one of the projects we worked on, the second largest source of microplastic comes from car tyres. So not a lot of people understand that our tyres, when they break down, they're little tiny fragments. Might be the black you get up your nose when you're in central London or in a city. We set out a project to be able to capture that material and look at what they did. And while the investigation, we found lots of microplastic. What we didn't realise is that there was such high volumes of metals going down the drain. So our research has led to understanding that there's around £42 million worth of precious metals go down the drain every year in the UK alone. So that's things like platinum, palladium, and other rare earth metals that go down the drain from catalytic converters and other things. So sometimes it's the value you find by taking a circular approach is not always what you look for. But the beauty of value is that it's not necessarily just financial. So some companies work with us because it's good for their corporate social responsibility goals or their PR parts. But other people understand purely this is pure economics. This material's being wasted and it's going down the drain, quite literally. And we have the ability to do something about that. I think there's some real critical challenges that need to be addressed as we move from this linear model of creating things and then digging them holes into the ground and putting them in them towards a circular economy. One of the real major things that we need to work on is a systems approach, which we hear quite frequently. It's about people trying to solve a whole problem. But I think one of the greatest challenges we have is coming away from studying the problem through academia and turning it into real action. Often there are solutions out there that need to be scaled and adopted, and they need to be driven by regulation. That's what we've seen so far. Businesses understand this is coming, they know this has to happen, but they are waiting to be told to do it. So I think one of the challenges we have to face is our legal system needs to represent what's happening in the world. This is a pollution source in any way that we look at it, but also this is becoming, particularly with microplastic, it's in our food, it's in our air, and it's in our water. You can't get away from it, and that's not fair for the future generations to inherit this challenge. I think one of the things for us that's really important as a business is how we try to help other small, medium enterprise, SMEs, businesses. I'm really keen to show that there's some really simple things that you can do in your company to have a big impact. So we're running a number of different bits internally, which we refer to as metrics. So we treat our financial parts of the business and our sustainability sections of the business in the same light. And we've developed a metrics dashboard, which looks at our impact, so positive impact in the world versus our footprint. We compare the two. And I think that we're in a process of rolling that out to other businesses because it's a really simple change you can do. There's some key takeaways that can be really quick. Running a business is hard enough anyway. Adding extra layers of circular economy and sustainability might feel like a barrier, but when it goes well, it will improve your employee retention. It will improve the way that people think about you. It will also move you into a space where you can practice different parts and access some different things of grants and other parts as well. So there are some financial benefits of doing it as well, let alone what you do for your customers and also the future generations to come.